What do growing pains, kidney stones, and cavities have in common? The short answer is poor absorption of minerals, and more specifically, poor absorption of calcium. This happens primarily because of low stomach acid, a condition called hypochlorhydria. Correcting hypochlorhydria is one of the first things I do to help a patient when they come in my office. Without appropriate levels of HCl, minerals cannot be properly absorbed and proteins are not fully broken down. Taking a look at this simple chart shows all the things that low stomach acid can do. Beginning at the top with calcium malabsorption, leads to things like cavities and growing pains and kidney stones, muscle cramps, brain confusion, hypoglycemia, and many, many more. Underneath that, iron malabsorption. Without proper iron absorption, you end up with anemia, low energy, and major hormonal dysfunction, since iron is essential for the metabolizing of hormones. Beneath that is something called intrinsic factor. It comes from the parietal cells, and it helps us pull and absorb B12 from the diet. Without proper amounts of B12, again, you have low energy, and you also have certain forms of anemia. Protein malabsorption is an extremely important consideration with low stomach acid, because if we do not absorb our protein properly, we do not turn that protein into amino acids. Amino acids are critical for all of the hormones in your brain called neurotransmitters. They're also essential for hundreds of functions in your body related to digestion, immune function, and many, many more. At the bottom, we see increased gut infections, things like fungal infections or dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is a great imbalance of the many, many, many trillions of bacteria in your gut. All of these lead to immune system dysfunction and digestive upset. Kidney stones. Starting with low hydrochloric acid, that turns into high bound calcium. The reason why I say high bound calcium is because we need our minerals to be set free, and it is the job of hydrochloric acid to do that. No mineral is a mineral by itself. It is always bound to something. So calcium is not calcium. It's either calcium citrate or calcium phosphate or calcium lactate or calcium malate or calcium of a dozen other kinds. But it's always bound to something, and it requires hydrochloric acid to set it free. A free mineral is a utilizable mineral in the physiology of your body. A bound mineral causes problems and can interfere with organ function. So high bound calcium leads to muscle cramps and spasms, can lead to low blood sugar issues, can lead to kidney stress, and eventually kidney stones themselves, as your kidneys try to work extra hard to get rid of the calcium that's bound and not friendly and utilizable. So how much acid do we need? The normal resting level of acid between meals in the stomach has a pH of 3 or less. In this environment, bacteria can last for only about 15 minutes. That acid is so potent, it kills all of those foreign invaders. But as the pH becomes more alkaline and rises to 5 or more, many bacterial species will survive and thrive. So without regular and intense acid baths to drive them out, the stomach can become a quite hospitable place for colonization. It's dark, it's warm, it's moist, and it's often full of nutrients. A bacteria called Helicobacter pylori, or H. pylori for short, thrives in a low acid environment and will often be the cause of a stomach ulcer. So how did we end up with this low stomach acid? Well, there are several reasons. Number one is a bad diet. A diet with too much sugar, too many milk products, and too many inflammatory fats from processed foods is a great way to get started at having a messed up stomach and low hydrochloric acid. Number two, how about stress or anxiety? Stress and anxiety are directly related to improper stomach function. You'll notice this if you've ever done any public speaking or had a big exam or stress event coming up. You'll feel it in your stomach, what we call the butterflies of the stomach. That's because there are emotions, and emotions are always directly related to a particular organ. And anxiety is directly related to stomach function. Number 3 is simple dehydration. Hydrochloric acid comes from salt and water. Water provides the hydrogen, that's the H in HCl, and salt provides the chloride, that's the Cl in HCl. So if we don't have enough salt, we don't have enough water, we end up with deficient amounts of hydrogen chloride. And number 4, it could simply be acquired. Immunocompromised mothers are giving birth to immunocompromised children at more and more alarming rates. And so children are walking around and starting off life with a compromised digestive tract. 80% of your immune system is in your digestive tract. That means these children are also sick or sickly. They have chronic tummy pains. They have chronic digestive issues. They have those bright red rosy cheeks on their faces, which means they're eating a food they shouldn't be eating. Emotional disruptions, and so forth. What supplements help? Hydrochloric acid itself can be purchased in the health food store and taken as a supplement with each meal. Number 2, you need a type of calcium you can easily absorb, and it's usually calcium citrate. You want to avoid calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is what they make Tums out of, so it's an alkalizing substance. It's chalk, it's limestone. It's very common on the earth, and it's a cheap calcium that's often supplemented in foods and in plant-based milks and so forth. Try to avoid this calcium. Number 3, potassium citrate, and number 4, salt. Those work together. They are the 2 most important electrolytes to help with the fight or flight response. They're also essential in helping with any kind of calcium malabsorption where HCl has been low. Number 5 is adrenal cortex. This is the most common supplement I use to help control adrenaline directly. So adrenal cortex combined with adequate amounts of potassium and salt and HCl are a fantastic anti-anxiety combination. Number 6 is a quality fish oil. Your brain is 50% fats and oils. The cell membranes around every cell of your body are made up of a bilipid layer of fats and oils. So essential amounts of quality oil help keep minerals moving in and out of the cells efficiently. No burping allowed, so if you're burping an oil, it's repeating on you, then that's the wrong oil. Look for a different one. If blood sugar issues are a consideration, then you should take inositol. Inositol is a natural sugar made within the body, but it is essential to help move minerals in and out of the cells. Number 8 is my diet from my book called The Gentle GI Diet. Basically, it tells you to eat a bunch of cooked vegetables, not raw, lots of protein, and no dairy products. I explain all of those details in my book, but basically that approach gives the digestive system its best chance to rest and recover. Also, number 9, you must be hydrated. 1/2 your body weight per day of water in ounces is minimal. If you're exercising, it should be even more. So for this full protocol, I have left a hyperlink in the description, so that you can see what else I recommend and the dosages and amounts. All of these 9 things listed are essential to help with calcium malabsorption issues and the problems that it creates, such as cavities or growing pains or kidney stones. But those are just the 3 big ones. There are dozens, and it is one of the biggest problems I look for and have to fix on a regular basis, and it's profound how many other issues get corrected just by helping your body absorb minerals and digest proteins. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview. For more information, visit drscottmonk.com, or we'll see you at the next video.